Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do eat no money, what people at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the year, look at you. Use the youth, the money, waste my musta man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take this script of money, girl, and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up in my gut up. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption please.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, them rapper, they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start that thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again.
Stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day, stibby-dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are logging in from. Thank you for joining us. The At a Glance program this morning on your favorite station, the Global Television Group. Thank you all for joining us, to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Everybody, good morning. Debbie Jarvis TV, how are you doing? Noreen Dennison, Gloria Morris, Sandra Ellis, Look at TV, Beat and Teach, Sim, Cousin Jamie, Patricia Matthews, Natalia Freeman, Violet Watson, everyone. Are you doing? Yvonne Riley, Sharon Bernard, Rosemary Samuels, Agency Jive of 5, Wagwan. Pick up yourself. Colleen Allen, Deb, Don Fox. Morning, everybody. Morning. Welcome. How you do? The bravado is over. My plan me never talk about it till it's over. The bravado is over. Millions have been wasted. And another thief, another criminal has been added to our representative legislature. How the community, how the family, how the water go down. Division and constituency are there without representative, i.e., the St. Thomas division when I have no counselor in upper what it South Chilani, Carlos Wagwan. We don't have no MP for a long time, over a year now. But we can find millions to patch up. Sorry, people, it licked me out of the system. I'm back. I hope you can hear me. Let me get my slides and things back in the studio. Sorry about that. I hope you can hear me now. Veteran Ricardo Campbell, Ransud McLean, how you all doing? Raymond G, Deb, Marcia Thomas, the Unstoppable One. I hope you can all hear me now. The system knocked me out. Just let me go and load up back my video them while I talk to you, because when it knocks us out of the studio, then it knocks out all of the content that we have prepared for you in the studio. So let me quickly put these analysis stories back in the studio, and then we will get back to you. Those of you who were over Carlos this morning, you heard Carlos spoke about a news article in reference to the SSL report, and that FSC, which is under Nigel's ministry, overseen by Nigel ministry, regulated by Nigel ministry, and we all know Nigel is the finance minister that the SSL report went to, I think, around 2022, and it stayed on his desk and gathered cobweb. And Nigel, that report did suggest that SSL and other financial institutions are in problem. Nigel give Andrew insider information, Andrew take out him money, and Nigel says nothing to the country about the report. So when Justice Bat made the ruling that FSC should not be the trustee for SSL, and it should rather be the trustee that SSL appointed, based on what I read, Justice Bax was saying, when you had the report, you had time enough to deal with that report and take SSL into receivership, administration, liquidate it, or whatever, because You were aware from that report that there is problems. So you cannot come say that you want to be trustee for SSL after SSL collapse in front of everybody. That's my understanding of what Justice Bath was saying to them in the first ruling a few months ago. But this one now, FSC and Nigel Clark and the government by extension is asking the court to seal the report and by extension would place a gag order on the report. And I did plan this morning, I was going to give you a bit of talk about the whole gag order system, where it makes sense and where it does not. Gag orders have been long used by the court and by governments. I'll give you some ways of how the courts normally uses gag order. When an underage commits a crime, or sometimes they can be called gag order, they can be called anonymity order. In the celebrity spheres, they're called super injunction. In the employment spheres, they're called private order or a C or a cut tree agreement. So basically, you're prevented in any of these orders from speaking about what the order tell you not to speak about. For example, this is a long use of the court. If a teenager committed a criminal offense, there's a long-standing gag order. You cannot name underage unless a court lifts the gag order before you can name someone under the age of 18 who committed an offense. An example of this was the other day when that young man killed those children in the UK that sparked the riot. Because he was under 18, he couldn't be named automatically. There's an automatic gag order once you commit a crime under 18. But because of the fury in the nation, and at the point when the court lifted the gag order so he could be named to the public, it was only 5 days away from his 18th birthday. So the court took the decision then to lift the gag order and name him. Once they're under 18 and they commit any crime, there's an automatic gag order against naming them. Another use of gag order is you use it to prevent the media from speaking about a particular witness in a case. Depends on the type of case going on in front of the court. Also, the court can put a gag order on while the case is going on. Therefore, the media cannot report on the daily activities in court because of that gag order until the trial is done or until the judge lifts the order. It also applies to people within the witness protection system as well. It's a gag order would prevent you from naming them, talking about them, their address or location or whatever. Governments use gag orders also. Sometimes this would tend to be issued by the Minister of National Security or by the government. These normally apply to national security issues. For example, if the police and the military and or is carrying out a high-profile investigation or operation, then the Minister of National Security, for protection purposes and for investigation purposes and to be ahead of the criminals, the Minister of National Security can put a gag order on the media so they cannot talk about information that might put the criminals on a front footing. So the Ministry of National Security can use gag order in that sense. Gag order basically is used to restrict the flow of a particular or certain information. Where they get nasty is how government use them. Governments tend to start using them now the way celebrities use them. When celebrities start using them, what those gag orders move off into is a phrase which is known in Britain as the super injunction. Now, these super injunction normally apply to celebrities, high profile people in public life. A lot of footballers use them. A lot of people in the entertainment industry use them. Politicians use them, but these use are mainly to hide your use of drugs, your activities with prostitute, your extramarital affair, your children outside of marriage. A lot of that use were done in Britain in recent times, and I find now politicians has gone down that territory to use super injunctions or gag order in order to prevent you from knowing embarrassing issues, which is how celebrities use gag orders to stop you from know about them dirty affairs where them want keeping a secret, so then we'll go to the court and then we'll pay for because super injunctions and gag orders, they're very, very, very expensive. And this is where I disagree with the court, because I think the court is using that system as revenue collection. So politicians start using gag order in order to suppress freedom of information and access to information. Now, in this SSL saga, it's only a corrupt judge would issue an injunction. And I tell you why, in my view. This SSL issue affects a broad sway of the public. A lot of investors were cheated. And releasing the report, as they told us they would be transparent, would be a matter of public interest. And under that public interest matter, then the court ought not to grant such injunction, because basically what the court would be saying to people, I sympathize with you that you have been robbed, but I cannot tell you how you have been robbed and who've robbed you. And this is why I don't agree with these type of injunction where politicians are becoming celebrities, where they're using super injunctions or gag orders to prevent the public from being aware of their embarrassing or crooked behavior. Gag orders can be exposed. Many times it is done. For example, a celebrity or politician goes to the high court and gets a gag order. The gag order would apply to the United Kingdom. Often when that happens, you find that journalists in Ireland and America will expose the details of that injunction because they are not bound to it. If YouTubers or social media people outside of the gag country aware of it, they can talk about it because the gag order only applies within that country. So country outside who knows the details can publish it. And oftentimes some of these gag orders that are being enforced in the UK get put out, whether it be in Ireland or America. The opposition has power to expose what is being gathered from us as well. For example, if the SSL report is being gathered, there is a principle that is called parliamentary privilege, where on the floor of parliament, an MP can it is protected against civil lawsuit, whether it be defamation or a penalty from a gag order. On the floor of parliament, you are protected. So if the opposition, which they would do and ought to have known, details of the report or why the report is gagged, an opposition MP can question that in parliament and is not subjected to the gag order because they are protected by parliamentary privilege. So them can put a penalty on them or them can sue them for breaking the gag order. So there are redress to it if we're not in a cahoots with both Labour and PNP on this whole issue. If Labour gag us, PNP can expose it under parliamentary privilege, but they can only do it within parliament. They cannot speak about it outside of parliament. If they speak about it outside of parliament, they are not protected by parliamentary privilege, and thereby they can be sued or be subjected to the penalty of the gag order. But once they're on the floor of parliament, they are protected and they can question that gag order. So I hope that enlightens you as to how broad this whole gag order thing is and in the different ways that the court uses it or how the government might uses it. But often the government tends to use it to either one, suppress freedom of information by censoring the media, two, suppressing access to information by withholding information from the public that they ought to have, or three, protect their embarrassing or possibly criminal behavior, mainly against the people, to be honest with you. So I hope that explains how it works and in the ways that they are used and can be used, and how they are conversely used by politicians in order to sidetrack you, the people, in dealing with your affairs. I hope I did not confuse you. Ah, Jesus. Isn't it sad how politicians can just play with the minds of the people, commit crime, forget where them are go? Use taxpayers' money to buy votes and to buy a whole MP, because we will not wake up. JLP will announce representative for Chilani South. They claim they will introduce at their conference next month. But we hear that Duncan, a DK Duncan's son, who now go put the, come here for him mouth start flat already, you know, come here, so no, want him to be finance flitters. I mean, he start running mouth, the Nigel need to empty the tray of backlog of all heap of things when Nigel fit do and not do yet. Nigel must empty the tray. It was necessary to give the people of South Chilani representation after over a year of not being represented. Anybody in the chat there? I've been there or anybody there? Anybody hear about Sinting there? Jamaica media, Jamaica with the phone in our hand. We want images from Chybridge, please. Hello? Hello? Anybody over there? We want to hear something from Chybridge. Nobody know about Chybridge? Because we see them rumble and tumble and roll down in the river. Have anyone heard of Chybridge? How is Chybridge getting on? Nobody down there with phone? No media people down there we can look and see? I wonder if the people of Troy have bridge so they become comfortable now and them not talk. Somebody ask somebody from Chilani, please, if them hear about Chybridge, because all of a sudden, so, from chapter turn over and roll over, so, them get out the chapter yet? Because nothing now go on, Hey. See it, yeah, my God. The problem is, Prime Minister, I'm yet to hear you speak about it. You can't tell people to assess what the country now see. Tell with the lie, make we try and believe it. Tell me the lie, make we try and believe it. What years of success? Explain it. Because I don't see or not explain any of no success. If you have so much years of success, what is preventing you from meeting your 2030 target? I mean, success after success after success, and you still can't meet your 2030 deadline? You are 1 week, 5.5 years before we get there. So you're not going to meet it. And then things is so good. You have so much success. Me can't believe say you have so much success. And I can't even tell you about one of them. I'm yet to hear this government come and point out what they are talking about. Success. But you see the hungry people, them down at Chilani, down at Sinting there. Labor right disunite, long time. Long time, them a try to hold it out and it a show. You just have to go over TikTok and go hear them a tumble down over there. Just like how they never come out for the local government election, it's the same way them barely come out for this year. Because Labour supporters across the country are fed up of this Jamaica Labour Party Andrew Holness-led administration. And if Labour Party supporters are fed up, if Labour Party supporters decide we have to go drag with foot panda man, because him really not work for him, really not do not for and him not do not for the country. So of course, there's a disunity because you have the hungry duns one them will wait for to come open and build a shop and put on 2 pot out a road. Where no matter what the Prime Minister do to the country, they are behind the Prime Minister. And then you're going to have sensible labor rights where I go question the thing the facts that are coming out of the report. Because Labour supporters, Labour MPs could run around the country and try to tell us what they see in the report that we know isn't there. It's just not going to work. That's not how things really work. You can't tell people, say, illicit, if you show you what illicit 6 there, when the report is there for you to read and see it. But this is the dumb behavior of Jamaica Labour Party supporters across social media, where them think to say they must force everybody to see that the IC have a pick for the Prime Minister. Not that the Prime Minister is corrupt. Not that the Prime Minister is a fraudster or a money launderer or a liar. All they want us to see is that the Integrity Commission have a bone with the Prime Minister. None of them, they're still yet to see what Prime Minister fall far from grace. Very far. Our Prime Minister has went back on words of 10 years ago. Just 10 years ago, 10 years ago was yesterday. And the Prime Minister still cannot remember that he said this, or the Prime Minister cannot still uphold standard in public office.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
And where the blood clot this? And where the blood clot this?
That I stand in full support
Of the best Prime Minister
since 1962.
Is the man of integrity, love,
and I'm very lucky
To have an outstanding Prime Minister.
a leader that we can be so proud of.
The transformation.
I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had.
Southwest St. Elizabeth is in full support
Ladies first.
of the most honorable, I should say, Dr. Andrew Michael Onis.
How could I not support a leader who is moving Jamaica forward?
Andrew Holness, continue to be the leader you are.
And I'll do everything in my powers to ensure that he
Lead until he is ready to go.
Prime Minister and Party Leader, Andrew Holness.
Ungrateful lion! 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 Draw out everything and show the world.
Yes, best Prime Minister since sliced bread. Sliced bread Prime Minister. This year one you say, in the opening mouth and talk, if him a go run for JLP or not. But we all know if it go down to the wire and there's a 1 seat difference, him a go jump over and I go stay in the independence range anyway. And beside that, JLP is still going to fund his campaign. So you can might as well tell we say I go run because it's a criminal organization. And we know some people always run for the criminal organization. They look at Matthew. Didn't you see Matthew use crime and make him way there? Didn't you see Matthew use crime and make him way there? 10 years ago, the Prime Minister said, it's a dark day in our history. Look like the sun stands still and we just see brightness. We just see brightness. The little boy irritate me. And not just him, the court. The court is harboring nonsense. This is literally nonsense. This youth should have been hanged. He should have been corned and peppered and set ablaze for my life. The court shouldn't be entertaining this. This is a waste of time with so much people in the justice system waiting. There's 3 cases waiting for retrial. Why they have to drop the cartel the other day? Because they couldn't push cartel retrial in front of those 2 or 3 cases waiting for retrial. And you mean to say judges, the court system is giving time to this? This just tell me, say, some politician, when it ask him to go to the massacre for whatever reason, I tell the court, say, you have to have leniency upon my client. This is not making any sense, Jamaica. It is not making any sense that the justice system is wasting time with a cold-blooded murderer. It is not on that the justice system is wasting time with a cold-blooded murderer. This year one has said, the health center grapple with shortage of equipment, staff, and in particular in a physiotherapy area. You know how much that 900 billion, you know how much that 900 billion would have done and could have done? The 900 billion where you thief, Dr. Tufton, you and Dustin, Brian, 900 billion. And you come tell we said the health sector are grapple with short of staff and short of equipment. The nurse them are run, you not pay them. When you thief off the money, when you not buy the equipment them. So don't come out here, come tell we like, a duppy come thief them out of the office. Or a duppy come thief them out of the health sector. When you thief off the money, when you never invest the money. The bed them down at KPH, people are fall off of them. People are dropped through hole in them. Look at the wheelchairs. Look at the wheelchairs we want to have in our NHS, in our National Health Service. And look at the amount you have stolen in billions. In billions. And what the dead woman, they never put on the sin thing because the dead woman irritate me, Shiny Robinson. Come here, Andrew Oldness. I tell the docile lot them a sentence say Shiny Robinson endorse Matthew Samoda. We never put on it. Dead woman gone. Dead woman gone and make the people them live in peace. Why naughty sentence people can have like a pride in themselves? What is it with naughty sentence people and dopey? What is it with naughty sentence people and dopey? Because twice you do it now, you know. At twice you do it now in front of us, so you can't say dopey not exists. You can't fool everybody but me. 2020 or whenever you vote for Shaini Robinson. Yesterday, you vote for Shaini Robinson again. Dead woman go on, you know want to go rest in a peace. You know want to go rest in a peace, dead woman. Or you still manage for there walk up and down and solicit vote and I tell people who to vote for. Why naughty sentence people so careless and don't want anything and only prepare every election cycle for vote for dead people? Might as well not go vote for Mike Henry. I mean, you can't get a job to go ring out Mike Henry pampas if that's what you want. Shaini, go on home now. Go on, go rest. Shaini, you don't walk up and down too long. Go on, go rest. Jesus have mercy. Naughty sentence, fool people. How much time when I go vote for the dead man? How much time when I go vote for the dead man? And then when I want to live in for do something for no, when so backside will fool and backwards and bagga and come for no naughty sentence people. What kind of bush? Uno inna? Huh? Shaini go and go rest, no? Jesus Christ, your dopey must tired by now. Your dopey do 2 elections since you dead, Shaini. Go make your dopey rest, lady. Your dopey tired. And make the people them come to them senses and start vote for living people. Where they can go do something for them. Enough of the nonsense of Jamaicans who continue voting for dead people. Wanna vote for J.C. Hutchinson. Wanna vote for Mike Henry. Twice now we saw no vote for Shaini Robinson. Wanna vote for dead, sir? No, something wrong. Something wrong with Jamaicans. Sooner in no grave, I vote for no same way. Me not understand it. I do not understand the voting for the dead. What's the point of having an election then? What's the point of having an election? We don't really need to have one because we have vote for dead people. So it no matter the living, them can just take it and run with it. Naughty sentence people. We don't make yourselves look like the fool of Jamaica. Twice now we don't vote for dead people. Come like nobody never throw ashes dust to dust over Shaini. Because she just a walk up and down and I look for her shadow. So, go on home, man. Go on home. Go on, go rest. I hit them call you home for to come rest. Shaini Robinson. Go on home, go rest. Make naughty sentence people vote for something, woman. Jesus Christ. I have enough found now. I've enough found every day. Dopey at a dopey at a dopey at a dopey at a dopey. What sense does it make? We just get up a vote for dopey stuff. What has the dopey done for now? It's obvious. And not just the working less than teachers in Britain. It's also living standard is a part of why we now retain with teachers them. We can't enforce discipline in the schools anymore. Government isn't supplying schools with material and equipment anymore. Out of the little minuscule salary where teachers get, teachers still have to deficient themselves, buy lunch for students, buy all the little necessities them need in them class, crayon, markers, or whatever them need. So them now go stay. It is obvious. So with teacher them are going to continue, and not just with teacher them. With nurses and junior doctors going in the droves as well. You think a Nigel alone want better greener grass? Why Nigel we are nyam down the whole land? And so Nigel nyam down this side of the land, that the side of the land I grow. And Nigel said, me want greener grass. Why do you think nurses and teachers, if Nigel can thief so much and swindle through his foundation, and Nigel still a run, go look for greener grass, why you think we teacher them shouldn't stay and batter themselves where they can't build a house out of it and they can't even manage them rent a month time out of it? Why you think it wouldn't benefit them? What we should understand is that we have a broken education system. And if government don't have the willpower to really have an overhaul in our education system, syllabus and infrastructure, we are heading to, I don't know where right now, but not in the direction where we ought to be going as a developing country. Certainly not. Here Prime Minister said, him now go meet him target. Him one target where him set. How much years before him one we say we now go meet it. Guys Hill Main Road is a part of is a part of Currency and Morrison constituency. Guys Hill Main Road would have run partly in our constituency. Am I wrong or right? Because here one of them would say, how could I not support such a prime minister? And you know, she set her neck, like I said, maggot in her ears. Because she set her head like a foreign journalist. They have to lean their neck, like I said, maggot in their ears. How could I not support such a prime minister? Me right. Careless currency on the bad man them front. Because we know we know now P Diddy's situation and expose and make we know now. So once on the whole a place in a politics or the entertainment industry, it's not about qualification. It's about how good you are on your back or on your knees. We know that already. So when you reach the qualify, when you reach the back on knee, how did you get there, Currency Morrison? Back or knee? How did you get there, Currency Morrison? Back or knee? Because we know say in a politics and entertainment, a back and knee on use climb the ladder. Back and knee. I saw if you call them nowadays when I saw the politician them. Back and knee come and say no nesta. Me say Flight Green and the little white boy from London and skin out them body yesterday for Andrew Holmes. Me say Jolette and Rhoda I jump up in the same circle while the two of them can't wait for Andrew come back from India. But never mind the buzzcocks.
We transport people from Guys Hill to Linstead and from Redwood to Linstead. Yes. And we all gather here because boy, the road there are beat bad.
Which road is this?
This road is New Works, main road from Linstead to Guys Hill. Boy, too much front end parts, brother. We can't manage it. We need the MP to come out, come do something about this. Yeah, man, we need the MP to come out and do something about this because we can't manage it. Too much front end parts, brother.
On an average, about how much money now to spend on a weekly, monthly, or daily?
Boy, last week I 40,000 spent on my front end, my boss. Whole front end. Right now, garage man there, I have to give back customer money because too much parts me are buying. Sorry for me. So we have to come out, man, and do something, man. Can't take it over my boss.
So how long that lasts? How long that lasts?
Boy, by the time you fix it up, bar joint, rocking, ready for change again. Shut mount, everything. I leak out. And you can't see road and river coast you are driving. We are going to want a gogglers and fish boat to start get fish out of them patrol.
So on a monthly basis, how much you'd spend to fix your front end?
Boy, it's a big cost. We can't remember the cost because every minute you have to buy. It's a bike. Sometimes I have to hold them a name buy. Every minute me I buy for front end. You understand me? I say my boss, I can't take it, man.
And how long if you...
So, Jamaica elevate from Porsche hole to currency a hole.
Boy, my name try,
So you hold them then at the road currency because we move up from Porsche hole now to currency hole. One of the bad man where I lay down with currency Morrison. One of the bad man where fund your politics currency Morrison. Your prime minister, your trusted leader currency Morrison. Him not see you hole in the road. Him not see you hole in the road, my dear. But you can be running around and telling us, how could I not support? Michelle said she give away 80 black cats. Una me hear tanks, but me hear cats. Michelle said she just gave away 80 black cats.
Love
The state that I
stand in full support
Of the best Prime Minister
since 1962 is the man of integrity, love,
Listen for the black cat Michelle give away.
to have an outstanding prime minister.
a leader that we can be so proud of.
the transformation.
I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had.
Southwest St. Elizabeth is in full support.
Ladies first.
Of the most honorable.
No flight green. We don't swap front for laptop. No flight green. We don't use COVID laptop as St. Elizabeth, Southwest St. Elizabeth to solicit front from young girls in Black River. No flight green, we don't. We don't. So if you support the Prime Minister, we don't have no problem with it. We will exercise it at the polls. But don't walk and tell people, say, we support your Prime Minister. That means that we support you for solicit front from young girls for laptop flight green. How could you say that? How could you draw us into your filthy little behavior? Flight green. Don't do it. Man, me met Black River and Brompton girls and run out on your flight green. Don't do it. Don't. Out of order. When a Prime Minister, we don't have integrity. We don't want to run around the world and jam it down with short. Rattigan and Andrew. See our foundation money for use, yeah. Worthy cost, not personal use. Naomi, Rattigan, and Andrew. We use donation money, foundation money for the personal use. That's not how it goes. And Mr. Rattigan, I'm not done with you yet because you told two lies the other day, you know. You told a lie that because of a technicality with your bank, you're not collecting donation at the moment. That's not true. You went on further to tell them that you were on the phone with the bank Friday night. That's not true either. Clear them up. Can't take on the whole for lie every minute. A black tank, Michelle, I say she give a but a black cat, me here. She claims that she give a 80 at black tanks, but I heard 80 something black cats. A that me here. And a that me a walk and talk. Oh. A that me here and a that me a walk and talk. Money laundering. A prime minister who should be running your country ought not to be and cannot be running his own business at the same time. One of the business would have suffered. And not only that your prime minister was making sure all of his businesses were in tune, your prime minister makes sure he does his full-time studies as well. So you, the people of Jamaica, haven't been getting in service for quite some time. Because what the prime minister has been doing is sorting out his financial affairs. Nothing to do with the country. Financial affairs where him can't even justify. Financial affairs which sound very muddy.
The transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money in it. And I didn't know you could open an account with no money in it. A couple of days later, there was a deposit of a little over $143,000 US, which came from SSL.
Fresh
and
drop.
in the context of the discussions which we have been having about SSL, I believe that the Prime Minister needs to address this and explain how and why that money came into his account from SSL. It was deeply concerning to me, and I'm sure that it must be deeply concerning to all the people who not only lost money, but know people who lost money. And you know the number one concern is what happened to bold money.
And then now they're trying to tell you in the report. They're trying to gag, seal the report, by extension placing a gag order. So they're only saying to the customers of SSL, we sympathize with you, but we can't tell you who robbed you. And we can't tell you how they rob you. That is what the attempt is with the gag order. But I want to ask Andrew Holness, when you was at the UN over the weekend, did you listen to Benjamin Netanyahu in the name of Jamaicans? Because most of the global South walked out when Benjamin Netanyahu, when it came to time for him to speak. Most of the African delegate walked out. Most of the Middle East delegate walked out. Most of the South Asian delegates walked out. Did the Jamaican Prime Minister sit down in our name and listen to a butcher?
By His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of the State of Israel. I request protocol to escort His Excellency and invite him to address the Assembly. Order, please. Ladies and gentlemen, order. Order, please. Whether we bequeath to future generations
Question to the Holness Johnson delegation. Did you participate in the walkout, or did you listen to a murderer in our name? It is important that you answer that question, because we want to know whose side you're on, if you're on the side of war or peace, or if you're on the side of unaliving women and children. We want to know. I would even bother with the Chris Gale, because I'm never fond of any black celebrity who don't married to black woman. I've always said it plain, and I don't have any problem with saying it. I don't look left. I don't look right upon them. They could have been cahoots and cahoots. As long as I don't married to somebody will look like on a mother or on a sister, I say, see when a master pick me there. Wait till your master daughter ready for divorce him and take all away him have. So it wouldn't be surprising to see Chris Gale bending over. I mean, those people in the probably Chris Gale met T. Diddy or Beanie Man or somebody else or them sort, those on their knees and on their back politicians and entertainers. But Chris Gale look something. The only thing where I look Chris Gale is a developed Jamaica. Is a Jamaica that provides job security and education and social development, such as with NHS, with schools, and with daily infrastructures. So we now go waste no time with uno entertain a boy where I walk and look for accolades from government after no celebrity days dry up. I mean, we don't see social media cancel the whole celebrityism. If you was a man of integrity, Chris Gale, and you can read, you wouldn't want to align yourself with Andrew Holness and his current administration. It speak loudly, Chris Gale, to the bitch that you are. It speak loudly. It speak loudly to the bitch that you are, Chris Gale. Birds of a feather flock together. Dog follow bone, Chris Gale. Dog follow bone. And that's just what Chris Gale is. A dog following a bone. Don't bother things say, because when I go there, so go play. We have respect for them. What playing inspires us to do for than fucking play Chris Gale? Because everybody know me, I've always have a problem with the people who play and get whole heap of money and accolades to play. The God Almighty say they either have a piece of wood or a piece of ball, or they have a ball of chicken. It's bloody plain. But you, the people, though, you crop them up as some high-class mother sudders that we should hold them up and throw them up there like a newborn baby and treat them soft and nice. They're players. It's plain. I mean, we all grow up throwing things at each other, kicking things around. I mean, even a pair of shoes, you can kick around a pair of shoes. Some of us used to kick around condensed span. It's plain, people. We're taking these people these mature rampers. We're taking them too serious. We're putting them on too much of a pedestal. Where them come and them suck out everything out of you to build themselves, and them never do back anything for you. And when them find out, so them dry up, then them run back to the politician, them forget like a crazy days. Out of you, the same people. You may see Chris Gale soon get seat Look at the iron donkey looking Juliet Cuthbert Finn. You may see Bolt soon get seat because Bolt get board membership Supreme Ventures or what the place name. Bolt, you not talk about it. The board membership where you get. But no beat and teach. Me never seen cryptic message. Screenshot you send to me, please. Both may soon get seat too. The all of them play with. It's a high society Illuminati clique. Just like how you say everybody did have to go a PDD, go skin out them ass to get a music contract or to get celebrity status. It's the same thing in politics. It's no different. I saw the deep world run. I saw the dark world run. I assess things on the face of war, no see and what them tell you no. This is the state of Jamaica, Ranby. That's why I'm telling you, say, calling for Andrew Holness resignation, we may end up in a further piddle. It's a general election that we need because the Deputy Prime Minister is a criminal. The Deputy Prime Minister cannot travel abroad. There's a possible seal indictment in the United States for the Deputy Prime Minister. The Deputy Prime Minister name come up in a WikiLeaks repeatedly. I have intelligence on the Deputy Prime Minister where his own law enforcement man have to turn up, watch him distribute guns in flanker, AK-47s. That's why I said, Andrew Holness stepping down. We're in a more a pickle than we are now. What we need, where you put Tanisha, you don't ready for this alive. No, it's reality. Horace Chang stepping down is a major problem, or Andrew Holness stepping down. It's a constitutional crisis. We end up with a criminal as a even though why don't we have now a criminal? Jesus, what a mess. And then if we end up with something else, we end up with a conspirator. If Andrew Holness hastily bring Matthew into the representative, so Matthew can in the leadership challenge when him step down, then bring it on, make we see what the motive is for. But why is it Andrew Holness that up until now, it is clear we know when Nigel are going and you still can't announce a Minister of Finance? Don't you think that's a big enough deal? The Minister of Finance is the third in line to government to take over if the government run into Holcomb Bocom. Where it's not the Deputy Prime Minister, then it's the Minister of Finance, the Money Minister. I saw it normally go in the Westminster governance system. If there's not a Deputy Prime Minister, because an all Prime Minister in Britain appoint a Deputy Minister. Some of them local government minister, they make them Deputy Prime Minister as well. But where that is not so, if the government collapse, the Chancellor is the next in line if the leader has to go and them now do a leadership race. The money holder steps up in line. And up until today, out of so much thief after thief after thief, you still cannot announce to us a Minister of Finance. Okay, there's argument out there say I go use DK Duncan, boy. What a war. Taking in PNP for run Labour. But then again, it's still mess where we're in with Labour and PNP. The whole of them are friends. Don't make a blind difference. The whole of them party together. The whole of them have freak offs together. Because when Cliff Hughes, Lord God, you should have live America. Cliff had to get better. I'd get better, Cliff. Me and your clout out here. You, Cliff Hughes, if you did live America, be your freak off them. You're freak off them, Cliff Hughes. Because we know it's about Labour and PNP. Visit for your freak off them, you know. What the hell if you did live America, Cliff? You don't have to answer to freak off questions, you know. But because Holy for High Society Police, Cliff Hughes, Holy for Brown Uniform Police, Cliff Hughes, visit your freak off them. So, and because ministers and government visit your freak off them, it's just a phone call to, you know, burn those paper, burn the evidence. Because we don't love burn things, we don't love drop things over river, you know. We know, no. Not one like kind of way no grow together. We know, no. We know, sir, when we have buried evidence, is to drop it in a river. You see the sea and the river? The sea and the river have only a secret for no politician or no bad man, yes? Sea and river have only pound of secret. The day sea and river go to start talk. You think of the Obi walking one them alone, the sea and the river. I go call out their name. Holy pound will come dash body. Holy pound will kill people picnic and go dash body over river for crocodile or whatever name. What are they when sea and river start talk? Lord Jesus. Dalrymple can't come back. What's the point? Dalrymple still waiting for court. When a conference are when in November. Devante. I went Labour conference start at November 20 something. But look at you. Them would have crazy if them care about Dalrymple and what the thief in read one name Royal Read at the moment. Given how Anjo is unpopular and how Anjo is making the Jamaica Labour Party, her case will wrap up on the 3rd. Given how them all stay, what may I tell you? It's tough. It's tough. But Anjo unpopularity, could that be any good? Dalrymple. Patricia, how are you? How are you there? Would that be any good bringing back people like Warrell Reed or Dalrymple? Would that be how desperate? But them desperate anyway. Because if Matthew Samoda and him wife and Pickney have to go live with a JLP delegate to get in at the House of Representatives. Jamaica, that's criminality, you know. Election fraud. Your new minister, your new member of parliament that entered into our representative, entered by fraud. And let's see if your prime minister, I will quickly name him, give him a cabinet position because him had one already. One that he messed up. One that he showed the people of Jamaica and the people of Westmoreland that it is about my white investor friends. Hello, good morning. Mrs. Sonana hit the like button. The Cash App, no Cash App, me not have Cash App. The, what's you might call it, Zelle and PayPal is pinned in the top of the link. You can support the program in many ways by buying a membership, super chatting or super stickering us. Those of you who watch the afterlife, you can send us a super thanks also. You can also donate to the PayPal and the Zelle, even a pound. We are not the greedy type over here. Every mickle, make a muckle. Dollar ride this morning, dollar ride. Yes, dollar ride. So, and them something I will end up with. Now the Prime Minister that in Japan working visit. I don't know what type of working visit, because your working visit would suggest that the type of minister, because so it's going on the diplomatic world, Andrew. Your minister, what you take with you, is based on what you're going to discuss, what kind of trade relation you're going to discuss, because that minister in the field of the working visit that you'd be having prime minister, then that minister would be the expertise advice or a technocrat prime minister from that ministry. But we're not clear on what this working lunch entails, and I don't know if you will tell us what the discussions are. I'm waiting for Polky to give some report on that, because Polky normally gives some fair reporting and things that the Jamaica Prime Minister may not want to discuss with us. In those talks, we will get it in the Indian media. So I'm keeping an eye on the Indian media, because I don't expect to hear much truth or much sense from this so-called working visit. But Dana, taking your foreign minister on any trip you're taking, it doesn't really matter, because they deal with foreign affairs. And beside them, they are going to open a new embassy out there. Them call it Jamaica House. But they're going to foster closer diplomatic ties, if you read along the line. Just like you see they signed document at the UN with Tunisia to have closer ties with Tunisia. I don't have a problem with closer ties with African country, but we would want to know of how close those ties are and how beneficial those ties would be and are to the people of Jamaica. When the Indian, was it president or whatever, came to Jamaica, there was talks about India giving STEM school or whatever it's called to Jamaica. I don't know what. When do you remember that phone that came to Jamaica and no one knew? The plane. Oh, yes. Remember, one whole plane full of Indians whenever subjected to immigration control, and then just let out for just walk up and down and sit down and wet them foot over seafront, waterfront, and all them something there. But I don't understand Dana and Dana what technology would beat and teach right in here so quick where Dana be there for me. Hold on. Dana Morris Dixon. Dana Morris Dixon, minister without portfolio in the office of what? Information, skill, and digital transformation. Okay, if this talk have to do with the STEM school Galangin, her visit as minister for that area would be relevant. Then, if they're going to discuss anything on the economic front, Minister of Everything and all, because remember, he's Minister of Economic Growth and what's it or rather galang in it. And then the Foreign Affairs Minister, Trade Commander Andrew, no, Trade Commander Kamina Johnson Smith. Oh, so it kind of makes sense why are them two, yeah, but why not somebody from, do you have a technocrat from the Ministry of Finance? Because when you work out these deals, when you work out costs, on a work out the cost where to go be to whatever country or whatever in it. Sometimes I saw these galangin go some, me don't know. But as I say, I will keep an eye in the Indian media because I do not expect to hear much about whatever is being discussed or the takeaway deals or whatever from this visit to India. Generally, when we look back on previous and current government and how them give away land and answer to the Chinese them, so we have to make sure we keep an eye, because from the Indian president visit we see say Jamaica faster ever closer diplomatic tie. Remember the Indian them did send a barrage of them outdated, same thing them to come jokey with. You have to be careful, you know. You be careful. You be careful. Remember them a pen we up like goat to get rid of we. An expensive land we live on. And all of them know say we are fool and we live literally. So them want to do everything to push we off for the little land where we have in order. To take it, get a private investor. Wake up, Jamaica. Wake up. Stop the sleeping. There is so much going on around you. There is so much going on around you. Wake up. I'm hoping after he met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which should happen either today or tomorrow, then we should have a press conference where we may get some information, but we need to know why the specificity of the discussion between our Prime Minister and the Indian Prime Minister, as well as the benefits to the people of Jamaica.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
And this was why Professor Trevor Monroe written quite a reminder article to the Prime Minister over the weekend, reminding the Prime Minister of the ministerial ethics and standard and how his government moved to uphold these standards. But when it comes to the Prime Minister himself falls very short. And Professor Monroe went on from the J.C. Hutchison scandal all the way up to the Everall Warmington scandal, including the Dalrymple scandal, which was the most recent of all. But this Prime Minister has failed. He has asked his own MPs for their resignation in order to uphold ministerial ethics and standard in high office. But this Prime Minister is failing to honor his own word, his own action, by refusing to sit in Parliament with Mark Azan because Mark Azan was corrupt. What has came out of this Integrity Commission report regarding the Prime Minister is quite a tainted thing for a Prime Minister. No Prime Minister should continue to lead a day after this report. The report was very damning. The report leaves the Prime Minister open to a vast sway of speculation when it comes to do with financial crimes and financial irregularities. The Prime Minister must call a general election. There isn't a tenable waiting leader in the Jamaica Labour Party to take over from Andrew Holness. Thereby, the country deserves to make the choice as to how we go forward. Whether we want to go forward with Andrew Holness and a bunch of thieves, or we want to change and hold a big stick over the PNP. If PNP think they're going to come in here and get a carrot dance, we are about our country. And neither PNP nor JLP will deter us from standing up for our country's integrity. Because we have to travel with that passport. And when we travel with that passport, we get treated as the corrupt country we're from. When a plane, anybody land a Brittany can tell you. You will see other plane land, and you know see immigration and dog swarm the immigration counter. But make one plane land from Jamaica, and you see how immigrations, and you will see how immigration dog swarm the immigration counter. That's the treatment we get internationally because we're from a very corrupt country. We are from a very corrupt country, and that's the treatment what we get. So when we have politician or prime minister embroiled in corruption, racketeering by way of using his company and money laundering and tax evasion, the Prime Minister is using his company as a criminal organization. Otherwise, people couldn't get up, go put money into your account and nobody know where it come from, Prime Minister. Otherwise, you wouldn't get up, go up an empty bank account without money. Then afterward, SSL drop money in the Prime Minister. After you wouldn't get the charity money, Prime Minister, and take the charity money, go buy a bond for yourself, Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has lost the mandate to lead. The Prime Minister has lost the trust and the confidence of the people. No government, no leader should be able to continue under this cloud. It's not tenable leadership. It's leadership in tatters and disarray. Such leadership affects the country. Because the decision that is being made of our Prime Minister is made in his personal interest and not within the interest of the country. But then the Jamaica people don't see that they can stand up and push back against this government and let this government know we cannot tolerate this. This level of corruption is too high. This level of corruption is too high. Why did Jamaica people afraid to go demonstrate against the government? Just like all in Las Vegas, them to go to integrity office go demonstrate the other day. You know, Vegas in the famous Peter King freak off? Yeah. A long time I telling an entertainer tear out them body to get where they want to go. Ask Vegas about it. Vegas know well how to get there on your knees. Ask Vegas when I see him. If you want to get there on your knees, just ask Vegas. One of the people of Jamaica too lazy. When you sit down and don't push back against your government thinks that you're comfortable with them. Is the people of Jamaica okay with Andrew's leadership? Are you happy for Andrew Holness to take you in a next general election? Given how we know Andrew Holness thief money put on aside to buy election, how Andrew and Nigel run money through foundations to buy election. Nigel who's going off without being investigated for the many misappropriation of public funds. The insider trading in the SSL scandal. A parliament riddled with criminals. You mean the president of our Senate and the Speaker of the House who came together and murdered Dog Paw with the assistance of their killing squad in the Jamaica Constabulary? We can't manage. It's too much. It is way too much under this Labour Party government. Way too much. But I want to see Matthew Samuda as leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. Then I would like to compare the race and Bertha argument pushed by Vegas, piss and tail Karen Cross, mad crazy Michelle Stern, and docile as ever in her anger sunny days. I want Matthew Samuda to be the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party because I want to have that race and Bertha debate. I want to have the race and Bertha debate that you all threw up in the air the other day about who Mark Golden will be loyal to. Who is Matthew Samuda loyal to? Golden born of Jamaica, where Matthew Samuda born. Golden white, Matthew Samuda white. Duh! I mean, let us have the race and Bertha debate. Because I'm not Golden alone white. I'm not Golden alone have British descendant. Mount Golding alone have loyalty to the king. But Andrew take two separate oaths to the king. He took an oath of allegiance as the king's first minister for the administrative protectorate of Jamaica. He's also a member of the Privy Council, which is a separate oath. And on that membership is where he gives advice to Prince Charles on how we can fuck up Jamaica legislatively. So when you say Privy Council, I hope I done them, especially the Labour right done them. When I hear say Andrew is a member of the Privy Council, they think it's the legal member of the Privy Council and not the administrative Privy Council, where those people just give advice to the king, and in Andrew Holness would be in relation to the affairs of the Protectorate of Jamaica. Nothing to do with the legal side of things, which is the judicial committee of the Privy Council, and those people go by KC when it's a king or QC when it's a queen. Those who go by PC is just an advisor to the monarch on issues related. All right? So, I hope Ona don't get confused by that. And I keep explaining this more and more and more because more and more I realize that Jamaicans, or even in Britain here, you find some of that as well. People don't understand that the palace or king's house does not have any political power over our parliament. The king cannot interfere in our political galanging in Britain. It's all done by the parliament and the cabinet. Hold on there, read my screenshot. Likewise, the governor general, it's all about ceremonial, shaking hands, cutting ribbon, grinning him teeth like a damn Cheshire cat, overseeing the signing or swearing of their Illuminati's oath for appointments and things like that. That's what it's about. It's not really more than that. You see in bold. They're banking on the country youth, love for this country, but ask yourself, do they love their country or themselves? So Bolt has said the politician them, both Labour and PMP, are bank on the youths. And that would be them vote. I don't know that. But the question is, do they love the country? I would assume he's referring to the politician. Or do they love themselves? And when we look at the track record, we know it's really themselves, them love is not really the people them. But Andrew can appeal to the youth right now. In beat and teach. Can Andrew appeal to the youths? The youth them follow the internet and say all our go on, you know. But then again, everybody appeal to the youth because of that, so the power structure of the votes are. But I don't see what Andrew have at the moment to appeal to the youths. I don't see. But then again, you see some hungry young people have voted for the dead man yesterday. Shiny go on home no? You don't want to rest, man. You don't want to rest. Mr. Only for young people vote for the dead woman yesterday. So the young people them easily sell them vote as they hear Cliff Hughes say young people are very transactional with their votes. And it's true. They will openly tell you, say, Daddy, you not vote if you not give me a thing or you not do nothing for me. This is why nothing get done, because I pay with we vote. Them don't owe we a dime. All right. Me I go rest now. But remember the pony ride. Dollar ride. Hit the link in the top of the chat and pledge your dollar. Dollar ride. Thank you all very much for being here this morning. Join us back later, because we're going to sit down and troll to see if we hear anything from Andrew Holness and Narendra Modi. Because one of the things that bothers me as well, it's the State Minister of Finance that met Andrew Holness, because them said working visit is not a state visit. So I wouldn't expect Narendra Modi to go and meet him at the airport. That happened when it's a state visit. It begs, why did Nigel Clark attend as well if you're having such a high-level interaction with the Finance Minister of India? It bothers me as to why you would have gone without one. And with two senators, I don't understand. But never mind. The Prime Minister will explain it at a later date. Dollar ride. Thank you very much. And good morning, good afternoon from Global Television.
The state that I
stand in full support
of the best Prime Minister since 1962 is the man of integrity, love,
and I am very lucky
to have an outstanding Prime Minister, a leader that we can be so proud of.
The transformation.
I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had.
Southwest St. Elizabeth is in full support.
Ladies first.
Of the most honorable, I should say, Dr. Andrew Michael Onis.
How could I not support a leader who is moving Jamaica forward?
Andrew Holness, continue to be the leader you are.
And I'll do everything in my powers to ensure that he
lead until he is ready to go.
And when the blood clot this? And when the blood clot this?
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us, our heads.
Where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
Ungrateful son. Lion! Lion! Draw out everything